Sam Mukabe Zema just received the worst news of his life. He tested positive for HIV.
I was only about 20 years, and I had all these big dreams. And I thought, it can't be. How could it be? What was I going to do? And of course, at that time, we had never heard of anybody who had been healed. We didn't have any treatment. We didn't have any drugs in the hospital or anywhere. So it was really scary. And I just kind of saw my world come to a close.
Sam's brother could not accept the news.
It was very troubling, and probably I was in denial, so I told him that can't be.
Sam had just become a Christian 3 months prior to his diagnosis. He had been supernaturally healed of a goiter and thought maybe God could also heal him of HIV.
It was really groping in the dark. You're not so sure whether this can happen. I knew at the back of my mind, God is able to heal. He can do much more than you can think or imagine. Those are scriptures we had heard, but still that night was a long night.
Sam heard there was a popular evangelist coming into town to hold a meeting. People described him as a miracle worker, so Sam decided to attend.
It was the third day of the crusade. When they invited him to come and preach, he said, the Lord spoke to me yesterday that there is a man of God in this place, and you have HIV, but the Lord is going to heal you. Now, the Lord said that he's going to touch you himself. So I don't want any person moving in this place. I want everybody standing still. That really took this personally. So when I go stand there, I put up my hands, and as soon as my hands were up, I felt somebody touch me on my shoulder. So I shrugged off it like, I don't want anybody to touch me. I want the Lord to touch me. Then I thought that could be the Lord. So I looked and there was nobody. And I'm thinking, wow. I started crying. I was so grateful. I thanked the Lord. And so T.L. Osborne said, yes, the Lord touched you, and there's a witness in your heart right now. So I'm thinking, just like that, this is great, you know. And so I decided the next day I was going to go for a test.
Sam's joy was short-lived when later that night he became extremely ill.
I was really confused. I didn't know whether I should continue believing.
It had been years since Sam had been touched by God, yet he showed no signs of getting better.
My life really changed. We were in KPC that time, we called it KPC, now it's called Watoto Church, and our pastor was preaching, and he was preaching about the priesthood of all believers. And then he paused in the middle of his sermon and he said, I don't care whether your body is full of parasites, you're full of germs, all kinds of viruses, as long as you're born again, you are a priest of God. You don't become a priest because of your health. You become a priest because of accepting Christ as Lord and as Savior. And that day, something hit in the bottom of my heart. I thought, wow, this is encouraging. I'm still a priest of the Lord. I can still serve the Lord. I don't have to wait until I'm healed, because that's the thing I had. I say, I can't do anything until the Lord has healed me.
Although he still struggled with the effects of HIV, Sam began praying for others who were sick.
The funny thing that had happened is that every time I had symptoms and maybe I prayed for anybody, they always got better. And like almost some of them were instant miracles. It was really confusing. Why is it that the Lord can use me to touch other people and he's not touching me? So all this was confusing, really.
As Sam fought to believe for his healing, he watched those around him with the same illness die. When one of his close friends passed away, he recalls hearing a strange voice.
I had a very hoarse voice behind my right ear, and it said, next. So I'm thinking, next what? And then I remembered, my friend. So I thought, was God using my friend to prepare me also to get ready to die?
It sank home when one of his girlfriends, whom I knew, died of the disease. I had a lot of fear. And I feared he was going to die.
What really changed everything for me is we had the wedding of my friend, and we were all excited. And then again, I hear this voice saying, "You will never have that." And I'm thinking, why? And it really hurt me because immediately I remembered against this disease.
However, moments later, the pastor made a statement that changed the course of Sam's life.
He says, greetings everybody, I bring you greetings from my wife Faith, and our 3 children. When he said that, something just clicked within me. I thought to myself, well, when the Lord heals me, I should bring greetings like that.
As an act of faith, every time Sam ministered, he would bring greetings from his wife and children. Although some laughed at him, he kept saying it.
As I kept talking about it, it eventually became, I tell you, I started believing it's going to happen.
Sam eventually met a young woman and got engaged. He did not inform her of his HIV status, but insisted on getting tested before they got married. While waiting for the results, Sam had a supernatural encounter while he was sleeping.
When I put down my head, I felt as if somebody tapped me on my foot. So I look up and there was nobody in the room. When I was putting my head down, I had the voice, what the wardrobe which had, cases up there. I had the voice come like up from the suitcase saying, "What you believed me for, I have done."
Sam received his results. He tested negative. He says it really didn't sink in until he went to church.
They sang this song, "And we'll say that you are good, and the miracles have brought us joy." That day something just happened. I started crying. I cried and I couldn't stop crying.
Sam's first relationship ended. However, God brought him someone else.
The first thing that attracted me to him was his relationship with God. He loved God so much, he was so close, he believed God so much, and I really wanted to get close to him and get more of his God, this God that he was sharing his life with.
What I learned is that I think God is more interested in us than the things we want to get from God. Sometimes people keep asking me, "Pastor Sam, what is your secret?" And I'm thinking, I don't know. I think it's just I love God, and it doesn't matter what I go through. I can't wait to go to be with him forever, for example. But while I'm here, I'll serve him no matter the circumstances, because he's my friend, he's my father, and he loves me and he cares for me.